the pictures online. You've been asking a whole lot of questions. Maybe you have a kit for the Confetti Table Topper because many shops out there were selling kits. But now I want to show you, how is this done? It's a very simple technique. And once you know the formula, so to speak, you're going to be able to make this beyond the table topper. You can make it in all sizes, and you can make laptops and table runners and wall hangings and quilts and you name it. I can only imagine the fun you're going to have. This is what I'm going to show you how to do. And then I'm going to show you some, as we get going in this process, I'm also going to show you what else I did with this same technique. So here it is, the Confetti Table Topper, but there it is right here. Let's get a close-up of that. Oh my goodness. There we go. As you can see, it's a confetti table topper because it looks like confetti. And just like confetti is, there's no matching pieces. Everything just kind of goes all over the place like confetti does. And that makes it a really fun and easy project, right? Here is the technique. And actually, what I should show you first is that it requires very minimal materials, all right? So not only am I going to teach you how to do the confetti table topper itself, but then I'm going to show you how to do, cut the blocks with orange pop rulers, and then we'll finish it off with that background quilting. Now, as far as fabrics, you need 13 of them. Okay, write that down. You need 13 fabrics. Now, many shops kitted these fabrics, and we gave them a list and said, have kit put together 13 fat 16ths. A fat 16th is a 9x11 piece of fabric. But you know what? This is a great stash buster. You could use fat quarters, or certainly buy those kits from your quilt shops. So that's what you need to start with. 13 blocks. Our initial blocks here are going to get you not only the center of this table topper, but all your confetti border as well, all right? And this also ends up at a 16 by 16 inch size, in case you're wondering. All right, now, this is so exciting, guys. So with those 13 fabrics, you're going through your stash or you're going through your fabric kit and you're like, ooh, I like this, I like that. Let's go ahead and go to the overhead camera. I've got 13 of these cut right here. What size do you cut them? Well, first what I want you to do is choose one of the fabrics out of those 13. Choose one of them that you want to be your center block, all right? This, of course, is what I'm talking about. This center block, you're gonna cut out at 8.5 by 8.5 inches, okay? 8.5 inch square, easy peasy. Now your confetti blocks are the remaining 12 fabrics that you have. So for example, I cut this is going to be my center block, and I cut this at 8.5 by 8.5. Now, the rest of it though, look at these cute fabrics. The rest of this, let's go ahead and get a little bit closer in on that, because you got to see how cute these are, guys. These, of course, are all Kimberbell basics. And these blocks are cut at 8 by 8. All right. So you're with me? You've got your center block is 8.5 inch square. The rest of your 12 blocks of fabric are 8 by 8 inches. Once you've done that, I think that's the hardest part, right? Yeah, you go, okay, there's so many cute fabrics to choose from. Which one am I going to do? Well, it gets easier after that. What we're going to do is we're going to put our center block, that 8.5 by 8.5, toss it. Toss it aside. You don't need it for quite a while. All right. So now I've got my 12 other fabrics that are 8 by 8 inch blocks. Okay. Again, you can use any size you want. All right. And I've stacked them one on top of the other. Okay.
That's the stack part.
You got it.
Okay.
That is the stack part. Okay. So I've already kind of done that.
Okay.
And you know what, Jenny, this is one of those projects I want you to just like let go.
Okay, just
let it go. Just enjoy the process.
Okay.
Right? Don't overthink this project. And don't worry about things lining up correctly.
Oh, I like that.
What?
I really like
says that, right? Kim says that to you today.
Room for error.
Okay. So we stacked our 12 fabrics, and now we want to whack it with our rotary cutter, right? So let's go to the overhead here. what I'm going to do is there is no rhyme or reason to my craziness here. I am just going to go over from the bottom left corner and head on over this way and just tilt it at an angle.
It doesn't matter what angle?
It does not matter. It could go this way, it could go this way, it could go,
Okay.
you don't want to go totally over here, but just something that's kind of close to the center point, right? I kind of, like a good rule of thumb is, you don't have to put this in your jingle, by the way, because that's way too much work.
Okay.
But I like to go like about 2 to 2.5 inches from the corner, if that helps. Okay? All right. But again, this is no stress project, right? Okay, now I'm going to take my rotary blade and through all 12 pieces of fabric, I'm going to whack it. Okay?
Stack and whack.
Stack and whack.
Cool.
Now, here's the other part. Are you taking notes?
Oh, I
Mental
should take
notes.
Thank you. Excellent. I really should be taking notes.
Bring a notebook, Jenny.
Okay, I'm ready for you now.
Stack and whack. Okay, switch and stitch. Okay.
Switch
Yeah, is that what we had on that little
and
logo?
stitch. I think
Switch
it
and
was
stitch.
backwards.
Okay.
I want to get it right.
Okay, so we're switching now.
Okay.
So I'm going to take the top piece of fabric. Okay, so switch and then stitch.
Okay.
Do you see now that because I took the top piece of fabric off, this was all together, right?
Mm-hmm.
I took the top piece and I'm putting it on the bottom. I'm switching it and then I'm going to stitch those babies together.
Okay.
Okay, because now when I sew these back together, I put right sides together and I go, whoop, I'm going to take it to the machine and sew it.
Okay.
Okay, and then the next block comes together and you're like, ooh, that's cute.
Ooh, that's cute.
That's cute. I'm gonna stitch it. So you're gonna place right sides together and stitch a 1/4 inch. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go through that process here. Let's go ahead and we'll go to this Janome machine here. Okay. So flip it and stitch it. There we go. Okay. So here we go. Right along, about a 1/4 inch. I am not gonna stress about this.
Oh no. Nothing
No.
to stress about.
Let's go back over
fun.
here. I'm gonna do what we call chain piecing. You know what song comes to mind when I say chain piecing? Chain, chain, chain.
I can.
Chain, chain. We're gonna chain. We're gonna chain piece. Got it? Okay.
Got it.
So next one is the fabric. Now is 2 different blocks, right? So I'm going to turn it over so we have right sides together, and I'm gonna stitch a 1/4 inch. Okay. Are you ready?
I'm so ready. This is fun.
Okay. Oh, you just wait, my friend. Okay.
It's like magic.
And then Jenny,
Yeah.
what do you think I'm gonna do next?
Flip.
Yeah, see, now I've got my 2 fabrics and they're so cute, aren't they? And then turn it over and
Stitch.
stitch. Yep. And continue that process.
Okay.
Okay. Through the magic of television, my friends, I have this part done. Are you ready? So that we don't have to go through all 12 fabrics and do this. I'm going to toss that aside. Here we go. And we're going to do our next step outs here. All right. So the next thing is I have now done all 12 blocks. Cool, right? And they ended up looking like this. Let's do a close up here. Okay. So my seam line is here. Now I can flip it and press. Okay. All right. Now I could finger press this, or I can just set it aside and press all my seams all at once. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay. So here's another example where we put the 2 together, right side to right side. Okay. And now we just flip this over. Okay. So it looks kind of weird, doesn't it? I'm going to go ahead and press those 2 because guess what, Jenny?
What?
I've already done the rest. You guys, I'm going to have so many confetti table toppers by the end of this show today. You
One
get
for every room in
you
the
get a
house.
topper. You get a topper.
I
You
love
get a
it.
topper.
Oh, I
How's
hope she
that?
pointed at me because I'd love one.
You all get toppers.
Woo!
All right. Okay. I can see people probably going, ooh, I got fabrics. I want to try that. Okay.
Yeah.
So I've already pressed the
Great.
fabrics, okay? And then I've placed them one on top of the other, which means
You're
I
stacking
stacked it.
them.
Oh, see, she's
I'm
brilliant.
catching on.
Okay, so now one after the other, they are stacked on each other. Do you notice something kind of odd?
They're not really lining up.
Oh my gosh, is that stressing
Is that okay?
you out?
It kind of is.
No, my friend. Do not stress because that is exactly, these things are oversized blocks. They're going to be cut down with orange pop rulers here very shortly. All right.
Okay, no stress there.
We make it a little bigger and then no stress. Okay. All right. So we've stacked these things one on top of the other. They do not match. No worries. Okay. I'm here to tell you it's way okay. All right. So now we've already done one vertical cut, right? We want one more vertical cut and we're going to go at a slant this way.
Awesome.
So now from this side, we'll stack those maybe a little bit closer together. There we go. Okay. Now from here, do you notice here, guys? There's no, it's not lining up. Oh, don't worry.
That's okay.
It's okay.
Kim says not to stress.
Don't stress.
I'm not
in
stressing.
your head when you're making this at home. Think about Kim said no stress.
No
okay.
stress.
So now I'm going to start. Remember we started over here.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to start over here. So I'm going to measure about
Two-ish.
2.5 inches. That's all. No big deal. Okay. And I'm going to. In fact, I'm going to eyeball that. That's how crazy easy this is. I'm just going to eyeball it. And now I'm tilting my ruler to go this way in this direction, vertical. I kind of think about it as north and south.
Okay, yeah.
So north and south, because guess what? We're going to eventually go east and west.
Okay, I like that.
All right. So north and south, vertical cut at a slight angle. Let's do it. Okay.
Whack.
Whack. Oh yeah. You see, we stacked it, we whacked it. Now these are two separate, but what's the next step?
Well, you have to put this. Do you have to put this on the bottom?
Yes.
Did I remember that right?
Oh my gosh, you're amazing. Okay. Yes, or actually, what's even better is to actually do it from the left side, or you can do it from the right side. But we switch it. Okay. Right.
That's right.
Okay.
We switch.
We switch, and now you have 3 different fabrics. Now I want to show you something real quick. If we had done it from this side, guess what happens? It's not a problem. But do you see now we have 2 fabrics that match up?
Yep.
If you did that, no big deal, because this is a no stress project.
Oh, yeah.
You just now
Anything
go,
goes.
you know what? 1, 2. Oh, now I have ones that don't match.
Yep.
So then I would put those on the bottom.
Perfect.
Let's just do that. Why not, right? So now we have 3 different ones, and now we're going to
Switch.
flip it over, and we're going to stitch, because we already switched.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. We're flipping it over, then stitching.
Okay, all right. So let's go ahead and do that. Again, 1/4 inch is all you need. Did you notice? I did not pin a thing.
Not a thing.
Not a thing. Okay, what song are we gonna sing? Chain,
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 chain, chain.
There we go. Okay, that's all I know. That is all I know of the
Chain.
song.
Yeah,
Chain
I
of
don't-
Fools? I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay,
I get
something
about
like
to that point.
that. Okay. Okay, so then now we have, look how cute.
That's
3
darling.
different fabrics, right?
bet.
Now we're gonna flip this over and
Then
we are
stitch.
going to stitch. Oh my goodness, you got it, you got it.
Kim, I think I could even maybe
You
do
could
this.
totally do this, Jenny.
I'm not so good with sewing. I'm great with embroidery, but not so good with sewing. But I think I could do this.
I have no doubt you're gonna be able to do this. Okay, guess what? I've already done the next steps. Magic of television.
Magic of television.
Right? Okay, so let's take a look at what this is looking like so far. I'm gonna put those aside. These were ones that I just stitched, right? We've got our little seam lines there, so I'm going to flip it and give it a little finger press, right? And flip it and give it a little finger
I can
press.
see how this is taking
Then what am I
shape.
doing? I'm
Stack. Stitch.
stack,
Stack.
stack. You got it. Stack. Yeah, we're gonna stack, and we're gonna snack them. Stack them, and snack them. Okay, there we go. So, stack, and snack. We just came up with a whole other thing.
That sounds
All right.
actually really fun. Make sure snacks are part of your stacking.
Always,
and
always snacks. Okay, guys, we're getting so close, right? Do you see how this is going? So now I've got these all pressed, right? Because again, they're already pre-stuffed out.
And you've stacked them very well.
So I've stacked them one on top of the other. Nothing just matches. Okay. And even the sides do not
Doesn't
match.
matter.
Don't
No
worry.
stress.
No stress, my friends. Believe me when I say this is a no-fail project. Right?
Anything, well, confetti doesn't fail. It's just awesome however
Confetti
it comes
does
out.
whatever it wants to do.
Right, and this is fine. Anything goes.
This does whatever it wants to do. It comes in little pieces, big pieces,
Yep.
all over the place. Nothing matches up with confetti.
That's
Neither this confetti table topper.
It's just a party.
Okay. What are we going to do, Jenny?
We're going to whack. We just stacked.
We stacked it. Now we're going to whack it.
Yep.
No. Yes, we're going to whack it. Okay. Sorry. Whoop. We're going to whack it. But remember I said north and south.
Now I'm going to go east and west.
North and south. We're going to go east and west.
Cool.
Okay. So now we want to do 2 cuts this way. Well, just one, but at a time.
Okay.
So we're just going to take one and cut it this way. Now, to make it even easier, let's turn it.
Okay.
So that we're still going
North and south.
Yeah.
But it's really east and west.
Yeah. You know. Okay.
Okay.
So now I'm going to measure 2.5 inches from the corner.
Okay.
And eyeball it at an angle and cut. Now, you're going to get to the point where you're like, wait a minute, that is a lot of fabric to cut through. No worries, guys. I'm going to show you what you can do instead, okay? But I got through it because I am strong.
That's right.
And this is a new rotary blade.
Can't fail.
Okay.
Good job.
So if you can't get through all 12 at this point, because you do have seams now, and that is extra fabric, I've got a way, I'll show you in the next step how you can make that happen. Okay, so now I have whacked it.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to switch.
No, switch. Oh. Dang it. I'm going to get this.
You got your notes, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yes. Okay, you're going to flip it.
I'm going to switch it.
Switch it. Ah.
Okay, these are together now, right? They are all matchy-matchy. We're going to switch it.
That's right.
Okay, now, right there. I only had to take one, but you know what? If I had to take 2, I could do that. If I had to take 3, I could do that.
Yep.
If I wanted to, you know what? It's no big deal that there would be the same fabric there as there, because
It'll be cute no matter what.
Does confetti care where it lands?
Confetti doesn't care.
Confetti don't care. Okay? So don't
Confetti
you
don't
care.
care.
Don't stress about this. But this does make a lovely little match, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay. All right. So what are we going to do?
This is looking good. I'm afraid to say now. I keep getting my flips and my switches all mixed up.
But you know what, Jenny?
We're gonna flip it.
I have no doubt you're going to be able to write
I
us
need a jingle to keep me on track. And once I do, I'll get it.
Oh, here's another important thing, guys. If you are trying to match this, do not try to match this.
No matching.
Oh, heavens no. Okay? I promise you, every little thing's going to be all right. Every little thing's going to be, it's going to be just fine, because now you're going to turn this over, but please do not try to match seam to seam.
Okay.
You know, sometimes we're in the, we get into the mode of like, oh, I've got to nest seams together. No nesting here, my friends, because this is a no stress project.
I just love that.
So you're just going to flip it, and you're basically,
whatever.
You're going to center it-ish together, just so that they match. Well, they don't match, but they're together.
Right.
Right?
So then
and now you're
stitch
going
it.
to sew a 1/4 inch. Right. You got this. All right. There we go. All right.
Nice.
Okay. Now, look at this. We've got 2. Again, would this matter? No.
Confetti don't care.
Confetti don't care, right? We should hashtag that.
Confetti don't care.
All right. So
My new motto in life, for sure.
So there's a cherry and a cherry. You could do that. Well, let's see what happens if we switch it again.
Oh, there's more
there's
cherries.
another cherry. You know what? Let's see if we could get something different. Oh, there's a match, or an unmatched.
An unmatched.
An unmatched match. Okay,
That's what we
they're
want.
separated. You're going to flip this over, and you're not going to worry about nesting
No seams. Yep.
You're just going to kind of center it together, just like this. You know, you do not nest seams. No. Okay, now let's go ahead and sew this. I love this little Janome because it's a great little travel machine. It is so
super compact.
Yeah, it's really super light. I absolutely love it. Okay, so we're gonna, that's now, oh, you know what? It does have a scissor function.
Oh,
I should probably utilize that, right?
yeah, maybe a good idea.
All right, oh well. So I've now got 2 of these, and we're not gonna take the time to do the whole stack, right? But I wanna show you what to do if you're like, that is a really thick piece of fabric to cut.
Yeah, it's looking
right?
pretty thick.
It's getting thicker with all those seams, so no worries. You would continue this process till you had all of these now done. Then you would go through again and stack and whack, right? Okay, so now say for example, you had your 12 blocks done just like this, right? Remember, north and south, east and west, but we need one more cut this way. So I'm just gonna turn it over so that it's easier to cut, right? And say, for example, I've got my 12 stacks and I'm like, oh, this is getting harder to cut, right? All I want you to do is just go ahead and cut one of them. You know what, just go ahead and cut one of them and then use it as a template for the other stack.
Oh, that's a good idea.
You could make smaller stacks. So say you cut your one and you're like, okay, that was easy. Now for my other smaller stacks, say maybe I do a stack of 3 at a time or a stack of 4 at a time. Whatever you're most comfortable cutting through, just use this piece as a template, okay? Does it have to line up, Jen?
No.
Heavens,
No, anything goes.
Anything
This is a
goes.
no stress
This is
project.
a no stress project. You got the
favorite.
idea, right?
Yep, I'm getting
Okay,
it.
so I'm just going to cut that so that, you know, it's basically the same. No measurements have to equal up to each other, right? It's just fun and easy and no stress. Okay, so you continue this process, north and south, north and south, one cut north and south, 2 cuts north and south. Flip it, turn it around, east and west.
Right.
Or vertical and horizontal. Okay.
However you want to think of it.
Right.
Anything goes.
All right. Okay, so now we've done that. Here we go. Next. In the end, guess what? You're going to end up with some funky looking blocks, right? Are you worried that this is not matched up?
Heck no.
No, let's zoom in as close as we can on that. I want people to see that this is not matched up. And
It's
that
actually really
is
not matched up.
actually okay. Nothing matches up. Do you see over here? Nothing matches up. Do you see that it actually it looks so wonky? You're like, oh, it goes like this. This is not normal, my friends. This is not what we normally think about when we go to quilt something, but in this case, the Confetti Table Topper, totally normal, okay? Just like the rest of us. Kind of.
A little bit wonky, but so much fun.
Wacky and wonky. I like it. Okay, so again, nothing. In fact, from this block to this block, they will not match up. Look how off that is. And people out there are going to stress and go, wait a minute, this isn't working. Oh no, because remember, they're oversized blocks, and now we're going to learn how to use orange pop rulers to cut them.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to teach you now how to use orange pop rulers because they're life-changing, and then how to do background quilting. All right, so I've got this wonky looking block, but my friends, I have something called orange pop rulers that are going to be a game changer, as they say. If you have orange pop rulers, do you love them? Are you wondering how you use them? Are they still in the packaging? Get them out of the package today. They're so much fun. All right, so what I have here are the rulers. Let me see. I thought I had a package of them to show you. That's okay. They come in 2 packages. There's a square set and there's a rectangle set. All right. Now, orange pop rulers are these frames. All right. We use these on everything. Any kind of Kimberbell quilt, bench pillow project. 95% of the time, we're using orange pop rulers to cut them. Now, the nice thing about this is that you can see what you're cutting beforehand, all right? So let's take a look at this one. I want to square these blocks up to 4.5 by 4.5 inch square. So I'm just going to do this. And do you see that I can visually see this before I go to cut it? All right. So here we go. The one nice thing that is really going to help is if you have a rotating mat. Okay. So I'm going to do that. And I'm just going to place my blade in the extended corner channel. And from there, I'm going to cut up and then turn this rotating mat, cut around the whole side, or on all four sides, I should say. Now, the other thing I want to mention is that if you are a right-handed person, I'm a right-handed person. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually cutting on the inside of that square. So as a right-handed person, I'm going to cut over here to the left because I'm on the inside. If I was a left-handed person, I'm going to cut over to the inside of the right. All right. Now, an easy way to remember this, think about where your blade is. You want this blade to kiss the inside of the orange pop ruler. See that right in there? You want blade to touch that, to kiss it, to be on the inside. If you have it the other way and you try to cut, it's not going to work. All right. So kiss the blade together to the inside of the ruler. You're golden. All right. Now let's go ahead and show you how I cut this. Okay. So I'm going to, this again is my 4.5 inch block. I have also a 6.5 inch ruler. And I also have, I'm using the square set, by the way. I also have an 8.5 inch ruler. This is why things are oversized right here, because you're going to love, once you cut this down to size, that it's the perfect 4.5 inch block in the end. All right. So rotating mat, right-handed person, I'm starting at the extended corner channel right here. All right. I'm going to place that blade in. I'm just using a regular 45 millimeter blade, if anyone's wondering. Okay. Do you see how I'm turning this rotating mat so that I can, I don't have to move the fabric or the ruler, I move the mat instead. Oh, look at that. It's the perfect 4.5 by 4.5 inch block. The rest of this is just scrap fabric. Do you see why you don't have to worry about getting, the seams just right, or that, nothing matches on when you're stacking those blocks together? Because just like confetti, this is going to fall all over the place and nothing has to match. Okay, so let's do it another time, just for good measure. Let's see. Where did my other, oh, here it is, the other block. All right. So remember this is what we landed with at the end of stacking and whacking and stitching and switching. And now I want to cut all these blocks into 4.5 inch squares. So I'm going to use my orange pop ruler. And this is the beautiful thing about orange pop rulers, guys, is you can visually see where you're cutting before you cut it. And it's going to give you the perfect size block in the end. So if I'm going, you know what, I want a little bit more of this red over here and less red over here, well, then I just shift it a little bit. Or maybe I want more of this red over here and less of this yellow. Okay, well, I can move it this way. Do you see how awesome this is? Basically, what we're doing is fussy cutting, right? So I could put it square on just like this, or I could give it a little tilt and make it even crazier by tilting it, okay? Now, you remember I started with this 4.5 inch ruler. I'm going to give you another little tip. If you are using these rulers, they also nest. So this is the 6.5 by 6.5 inch block. I'm going to nest this on top. And now I have even more room, more surface area for my hand to hold onto when I cut. Do you have to use 2 rulers? No, absolutely not. I just showed you that you could use 1. But if you have them and you can nest it, why not, right? So I'm nesting that. In fact, I'm going to get really crazy, guys. I'm going to take the next size up, which is an 8.5 by 8.5 inch block, and I'm going to nest that. Now I have even more surface area for my hand to hold on to. All right, let's take our our rotary cutter, and we're going to just place it there in the extended corner channel and cut, turn, and cut. Don't forget, whatever side your blade is on, that is kissing the inside of your ruler. All right. And one final cut. Look at that. You have the perfect 4.5-inch block. So now I've done all of these and they're all so unique and different. What's fun about this is that nobody's a quilt out there, nobody's table topper out there is going to be alike, okay? Because everyone's gonna have different cuts and angles and of course fabrics, you name it, it's gonna be different and it's gonna look like confetti. All right. So now how does this get pieced together? Well, you have 12 of these little 4.5-inch blocks now, and that becomes your outer border. So we need to just sew it on to our center section. All right, so let me show you the layout. And then again, through the magic of television, we're going to go to the final project so I can show you how to quilt it with clear blue tiles. So this is my center piece block. Remember, this size is 8.5 by 8.5 inches. All the other blocks for all the outer border was only 8 by 8. This one, 8.5 by 8.5. All right, so now you're just going to, arrange the blocks however you wish. You could twist and turn and just put them all over the place. I'm gonna start with 2 up here, and then I would sew it across with 1/4 inch. Then I'm gonna place 2 down here, right? And sew it. In fact, I think I like that yellow against the white, so I'm going to do that. All right, so I've placed those there, sewed it, pressed it. I'm placing these, I guess I should say, right sides together. You're going to sew 1/4 inch, so now you have 1 strip, and then sew it to this background block. You knew that though, right? Okay, now you have this portion of it, but we need some sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place 4 more blocks over here. Okay, and I'm going to sew 1 to 1 to 1 to 1, 4 blocks in a row, press them, and then take that entire row right sides together and sew it 1/4 inch and press. And then I'm going to end with this one right here. Let's see, I've got a lot of yellow up here. I think I'm going to change it up a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, I like that better. Okay, so I'm going to place one here, the next one, and you see how it truly looks like confetti. All right, so 1 block to the other to make 1 long row, put right sides together, sew 1/4 inch, press it out. You are done with the topper. Okay, now you're thinking, well, that's cool. And can you see all the possibilities of what you could do with this? Oh my goodness. I can't wait to show you what I did with it. But that is where the fun happens right from the start with choosing fabrics. Then you go into that fun, wonky craziness, right? But then you get to quilt it.